spoilers and offensive content to come.
Carl's Name Anime Rave for episode 1 of the simuldub of Boku No Hero Academia, aka My Hero Academia. Apparently, this is a show where people spontaneously get powers and dealing with a world where a lot of people have powers.
Yeah, this is a suggestion by you. Let's jump right in and see how this one turns out. Oh, come on, just add an E on there. Let's make it Tatooine.
Maybe this is Tatooine. Maybe they've really diversified their geographical economy and
managed to export tons and tons of sand.
Yes. And look what was all under all the sand. Superheroes.
Assault, robbery, and the illegal use of powers during rush hour traffic.
Do you have to have a specific, during rush hour traffic? Is that slightly worse than during regular hours? Or is it just, an executable offense?
Using superpowers during rush hour is going to cause, hold-ups, and it's going to slow down the economy because, the city's lifeblood is its movement and whatnot.
But how much worse is that for you? Is it 5 years more, 10 years more?
I think it's 15 years more.
Okay.
Piece of cake for the world's next hottest hero. Hi there, everyone. I'm Mount Lady. And you don't have to worry about this bum anymore.
Wait, she's getting all the credit?
With the rise of superpowers came an explosive increase in criminal activity. While governments were stuck trying to figure out how to reform laws with quirks in mind, courageous people started performing heroic acts to keep our cities safe, protecting us against villains who abused their powers for evil. With overwhelming public support, heroes found an official place as peacekeepers overseen by the government. Those who performed the best were paid the most and got all the fame and glory. Their careers depended on their ability to stay in the spotlight.
See, now there's a problem with any sort of group set up like that. It's not the job, it's how flashy you can be.
And getting the last hit and all the credit.
So, you're not endorsing teamwork. You're not actually endorsing the actual job of being a, officer of the law or anything else. It's, ooh, look at me, I take down more, so you're going to actually try and influence criminals to do crime so you can actually show up and kick ass. That's a bad system.
However, the show did do a good job of explaining that right now governments are in a period of flux.
Oh,
they
sure.
don't know how to deal with the fact that most people are superheroes.
Sure, and I like that. It's just a financial system that only rewards the absolute showiest heroes. Just means they're going to have more destruction.
Yep, agreed.
Do a baseline frickin' financial system for all of them, and that way they all might just actually work. Wouldn't there be a school for normals? I mean, really, would you want to mix the two with how dangerous they could be, and to avoid this sort of bullshit?
But then you're going to have one of those normals make Iron Man armor, so I mean, where do they qualify?
And that's okay. Maybe that should be what the normals are being taught. Hand-to-hand combat, equipment creation, and ass-kicking that way. Being normal could be, a good thing, because you're trying to use all the gadgets to kick the fucking powered the quirk ones.
My only weakness! I need at least a 2-lane road if I'm gonna make my way through here!
Pardon? Just shrink!
No, can't do that. Maybe she's going to go large once a day.
Well, that sucks.
Yep.
Alright, that was the first 2 episodes of My Hero Academia. Dave, what did you think of the first 2 episodes of My Hero Academia?
I liked it. It, kind of reminded me of an old movie from, I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s, called Sky High. Just the kind of feeling behind it, where kids are going to school with powers and the like, and some are good, some are evil, some don't have powers at all that you think. It's going to be interesting to see coming up whether you can hand off powers, or whether you actually do have to be born with them, or whether he becomes Batman.
I really enjoyed these 2 episodes. In fact, I really like this show. It has a lot of heart, despite a lot of humor and a lot of comic book trappings. I really enjoyed how All Might is made better by exposure to Izuku, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that these characters have depth and nuance. I like the little bit of subtle racism going on where the heroes are berating the actual hero of the day and praising the kid who got caught because he has superpowers. And yet that's the guy, Katsuki, that's the guy who was all bitter that he had to be saved, and all that praise meant nothing to him. I like that the trifecta, the trinity of characters seems to be Izuku, Katsuki, and All Might. And I really like the dynamic here. I like the dynamic of the old hero who's really a fraud, and seeing heroism in this kid who wants to be a hero but is seemingly nothing, and wanting to bring him up to greatness. I think that's a solid base for a story, and I really like, so far, how they've executed it.
I don't consider All Might to be a fraud.
He thinks he's a fraud.
He feels he's a fraud, but even after being as wounded as he is, he still goes out there for 3 hours a day, and he may think he's a fraud that way because he's not his old self. But to me, I think that's even better, because he has these limitations of time and energy, but he still goes out and does what he does.
But I think what's important is that he thought he was a fraud until he saw what Izuku just did. Saw Izuku put his life on the line. It's like in Spider-Man 2, when Spider-Man loses his powers, and there's this kid trapped in a burning building, and as normal Peter Parker, he tries to save the kid, and succeeds. He might have even failed, but I think the point that a lot of these superhero stories tell, and My Hero Academia is no different, and I really like this, is that a superhero is a superhero even without their powers. When they first become a hero, they are a hero. You can take all the powers away, all the gadgets away, and strip them naked of everything, and they are still a hero at their core.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you take Iron Man, you take away all his armor, and you put him in a situation where he needs to be himself to win, he will do so, because he is a hero. You can't take that out of him anymore. Clark Kent...
So, Iron Man 3 partway through the movie.
Yeah, Clark Kent without his powers is a hero. Spider-Man without his powers is a hero. You cannot... When you're a hero, you're a hero. And I really like that. And I like that this show kind of does it a bit differently. This kid never had powers to begin with. May or may not have them now. But he's still a hero. He is still a selfless person who, push comes to shove, would not allow this injustice to stand. Mm-hmm. And that makes him a hero. And I really like that they put this in this trapping of a world mostly of heroes where he's looked down on, and his pain of it is kind of played for laughs and played for heart. And I like that All Might told him, nah, to be honest, without a quirk you can't be a hero. And then All Might himself has his mind changed, because you see this kid has that common trait with all these other heroes.
Yeah.
I no longer think All Might's the guy who started the disaster, although there is going to be some dark secret behind it that he knows, I think.
Maybe.
I like the characters. All Might is not...
The dub is spectacular.
I agree. All Might is not the shallow hero I thought he was going to be. He is fully realized. I'm reminded of the first Kung Fu Panda, where Master Sifu was really the lead support. He was really the other hero of the movie, if you really think about it. The voice acting is very good. It's extremely good. I can't think of too many voices here that I thought were bad at all.
Okay, how about...
Maybe young Izuku was a little weird, but otherwise, nah, the voice works really good.
I disagree even there, because his voice as a young kid sounded like a young kid. It was fine.
The voice work is great. I like All Might's voice in and out of hero form.
Yeah.
I like how when he's that weak, frail, thin guy, he still kind of sounds like All Might, but not. Like, it's great. So far, I'm really enamored by the show. Dave, tell the people where they can find a quirk online.
CarlsonDavidAnimeRave.com is where you can find more of this.
And quirks. Tell them what kind of quirks they can find.
No Game, No Life.
Okay.
Steins Gate.
That's enough. That's enough.
Kill a Kill.
Yeah!
And more to come.
Good stuff.
Tune in next time, everyone.
Arun? Next time, Arun!